Hey everyone. Um, this video is something that I'm just kind of making on the spur of the moment because I felt called to react to something I saw today. So I try not to name other YouTubers here, but there's a certain channel that advocates for men's rights and men's issues and things like that. And obviously, as a man, I'm for all that. I think that's good. But I feel like this channel, for all the good it has, it also has a lot of questionable things that I don't agree with. And just today, the guy posted a thing talking about the male loneliness epidemic, as we're always talked about, and he's saying, "No, the truth is there is no loneliness epidemic. The truth is men have walked away from dating because women are terrible, and now men are happier than ever before. Men aren't lonely." And I'm like, and you read the comment section, and it's full of guys just affirming that narrative that I walked away from dating 10 years ago, and I'm happier than I've ever been. I have all I could ever want. I have my peace. I'm thriving now without a woman in my life. Women are miserable, blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole thing. And I'm like, well, that's not true, though. A lot of men are lonely. A lot of men really don't feel like they have anybody they can turn to. So I almost feel like I'm being gaslit when I hear these things. And it's like, who are these men? Like, who's actually feeling this way? Like, I don't know men who are actually happy alone or who feel like their lives are better since they, you know, swore off women forever. I mean, I think this is something that they're trying to. It's like one of these things where they try to create the narrative to make you think it's happening, but I don't know how true it really is. It's just kind of this is their agenda, and they're trying to make it reality by memeing it into reality or something. I have talked a little bit on this channel about my virtual lack of dating experience. How I've never had a girlfriend. Obviously, I'm not married, and never have been, of course. Um, and yeah, look, I mean, I understand where all these things are coming from. How, I'm not going to go through the whole litany of, men's rights arguments of like how, women are rewarded for breaking a marriage contract, and how, our society has made so many acquiescences to feminism that now women kind of have the whip hand over men, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, you can find plenty of channels to talk about that. I don't need to rehash that all. I mean, and I'm not saying they're wrong about all that. I mean, certainly there's validity to a lot of these arguments. And as men, it's right for us to be concerned about them. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I really don't think that MGTOW, as they put it, is the answer. And I'm sure if some MGTOWs see this, they'll probably vomit all over my comment section about how I'm wrong and women are terrible. But here's what I'd like to say. Now, while I do have sympathy for men who've been through divorce, who've lost their children, who've had women mistreat them, cheat on them, etc., absolutely, my heart goes out to those guys. I have sympathy for that. That's horrible. I wish stuff like that never happened to anybody. Okay, so I want to make it clear: I'm not belittling anyone's experience or demeaning anyone's suffering. Okay, but I would like to ask every one of these guys who swore off dating or swore off women after having bad experiences with dating and whatnot. Would you rather have spent your whole life single, never knowing what love was like, never knowing what a relationship was like? Would you rather have been a lifelong, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Would you rather be somebody who never had a woman in your life than, like, if you could do it over, would you erase all the relationships you ever had, any marriages you had, and say, I wish I had just been single and by myself my whole life? Would you trade all those relationships? I mean, I would think if you dated a woman for any appreciable amount of time, if you ever married her, even at some point, you must have loved her. You must have enjoyed being with her. You must have actually been happy with her. Are you saying you would trade all those moments for a lifetime of singleness? Because as someone who's there and living it every day, it's not fun. I mean, I would rather have had a bunch of unsuccessful relationships than none at all. I wish I could at least know what it was like to have a woman who was mine just for one day of my life. Not having that, it's hard. It hurts. You can probably tell by my voice. It's like the quote from Tennyson where he says it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I mean, there's probably truth to that. I mean, yes, it's hard when you lose somebody you care about, but it's also like Would you trade the joy that they brought you, even if it ultimately ended badly? I mean, I guess that's what I would always want to ask these guys. You know, this thought experiment. Would you trade all your relationship experience, all your dating experiences, any good you ever got out of a relationship with a woman for a lifetime of singleness because it ended badly? That's the problem I have with a lot of this MGTOW movement stuff. I really feel like it's almost like a psyop or something. The convince men that no, trust me. I know you think you're alone, and I know you think you're miserable, and I know you wish you had someone to hold you and to love you and appreciate you and care about you, but really, you're just better off being alone. Trust me, you are very happy. Believe me when I say you are very happy. Yeah, it's it's dumb, and I don't buy it. I think it's just we're being manipulated. We're being gaslit with this stuff. I'm still. Some people say I'm stupid and I'm a fool, but I don't really care. I want to have children. I don't feel like life is worthwhile unless you leave a legacy. And, you know, I would like to leave some kind of legacy, you know, genetically, biologically. And I know that might not happen, but I'm not going to give up on that hope, because as soon as I do, I feel like my life's over. My life is devoid of any real meaningful purpose. So a lot of these guys who push this stuff, yeah, they've had kids, they've had ex-wives, whatever, but are they actually saying that they would trade in the children they have all to avoid the nasty divorce? I mean, to me, that's like, I'm trying to see. It feels feminine to me, honestly, to say that. It feels like, oh my gosh, you know, you don't want to get hurt, you don't want to take any risk, you know. It's like, yes, obviously, don't make stupid decisions. Don't, you know, make foolish, impulsive, brash choices that end up biting you later. I mean, yes, as men, you should be calculated when you take risks, but, you know, a life of no risk is a life of no reward, pretty much. So, you know, I would rather take a risk on a woman. I would rather take a chance that there's a woman who might be the love of my life and who might enrich me and might make me happier than I've ever been, than just to say, no, I'm not playing the game because the chance of me getting burned exists, and therefore I'm not going to even take that chance. It just feels too. Look, I played it safe my whole life, and I'm not. And look where I am. I don't want to be here. So I want to start taking more risks. I want to start stepping out and trying things. So yeah, I'm just sick of this whole manosphere MGTOW stuff, because I think it's BS. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the issue. I might get some comments on this one, but hey, my channel needs some attention, and if you want to, you know, have a discussion about this, we can have it, but, you know, be civil. So talk to you later. Bye.